Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going over the simple strategy I use for e-commerce SEO, and this is pretty much the same exact framework I use across all my entire clients. And yeah, it's been working phenomenally, and I'm gonna go step by step and kind of explain to you the overview and then maybe show you some examples of current clients or some people that are doing really well and using the same strategy. So yeah, let's get started. So first you need to understand three things. With e-commerce, you will have your product pages, your collection pages, and then your blogs. And then what you want to do is you want to start with your collection pages. The products are important, but they don't usually bring the most amount of traffic in some cases, unless you have 100,000 products, and then the combination, or they start kind of stacking up, and then it would make sense for you to start with them. But in most cases, the bulk of the transactional volume that's being generated on Google, that's being searched, is going to collection pages. So that's why you need to first focus on your collection pages, then move into the blog pages, because the blogs are what supports the collections to rank. And then after you've exhausted your blog content that you can produce on your site, you want to refer back to backlinks and use backlinks as the last push for your pages to rank. So yeah, let's go over the main collections, for example. So first, what you want to do is you will have your obvious collections to make. So I want to give you a quick example. Let's say Sephora. Like if you're in the makeup or skincare industry, you would pretty much have like your moisturizers, your cleansers, your sunscreens, and these would be the main collections you would go after. But then what's happening on the search is that a lot of people are searching for the same thing in different ways, and you want to accommodate to that. So for example, instead of just having like a moisturizers collection, which is the main one, it's the obvious one, what you want to do is you also want to break it down into multiple things. So you have face creams, night creams, face oils, mist and essences, and then BB and CC cream, right? So what's happening here is they are mixing up, or they are breaking down that main collection of moisturizers based on the product type. You can see there's creams, and then there's oils, and then there's essences, and they're also breaking it down based on the use case. So they can use it for night, they can use it for the day. So it's also in here, and the way they optimize the Navbar is based on the most search terms. So the main collections you want to rank for are the ones that are going to be generating the most amount of traffic for you and revenue. You want to have them in the Navbar, just because them existing on the Navbar give them that SEO boost and that authority that your website carries. So that's what's happening on the collections. As you can see here, you have leather sofas, but you can also divide that big collection of leather sofas you have in our catalog into a sub collection, which is a Spanish leather sofa. So you sort out all of the leathers that are Spanish into one collection by themselves, a standalone collection, and you can also link it back into the Navbar. Now, how I like to do it is, if I see that there is multiple types of leathers, like let's say Italian leather, Spanish leather, Turkish leather, Indian leather, whatever it is, right? If there's a trend, like a bunch of combination of keywords that are following a certain trend, I would pull these up and create a shop by category by themselves in the Navbar. Now, of course, you can have another sub collection of the same leather sofas by adding, let's say, the size or the quality or the color or whatever is being searched or whatever you have on the catalog. Now, you want to make sure that if you're gonna spend the time to building these collections properly, you want to make sure that one, there's search volume on them, which means people are searching for that stuff and there's demand. And then the second thing is you want to make sure that the collection you want to build, you have enough products to support it from your catalog. You don't want to create a collection with 3 or 4 products unless it serves a purpose for the UX, for the user experience. But other than that, if you have 3-4 products in collection, 90% of the time it's not gonna rank because it's kind of like lacking, it's not there yet. So yeah, the main collections, whatever main collections you have, try to break them down as much as possible and try to figure out the variants or the filters that you could break them down by. Now, what I like to do is I usually go to Amazon and then type, let's say, sofas, and once you type sofas, you can get a lot of the attributes, a lot of the things you can break down your catalog by, and the filters. So you can see here the material, you can break them down by material. So sofa, velvet sofa, or cashmere sofa or cotton sofa, right? You can also break them down by depth, by height, by width, by type, right? Is it sectional, is it standard, is it love seat? You can also break it down by capacity, also what room it's fitted in, style, shape. If you're a retailer, you're gonna have multiple brands, so you can also build collection pages just for the brands and go after branded keywords. And then of course the style, the arm, there's a bunch of stuff you can go after here. So whatever you have in your catalog, you want to make sure that you have that, so you can build a collection based on the products you have here. And then also validate these collections by searching on Ahrefs and thinking, okay, let's say Spanish leather sofas, right? Where's Ahrefs? You go into your keyword explorer and you see if there's demand for that. So quickly, leather sofas, for example, right? And yeah, there's 3,700 searches around leather sofas. You see there's Basset leather sofas. There's a bunch of other things. You can look into the keyword explorer here and see what buckets or what things are being searched. So what you want to do is align whatever you have in your catalog with the market opportunities. I have another video on how to do this, but that's the gist of it. You want to break down your collections, figure out if there's demand for this collection, and if you have enough products to fill up that collection so you don't end up just having a collection that's doing nothing. Okay, cool. So that's pretty much it. Another thing is the logic of you breaking down the collections and validating a demand. That's a process of you figuring out or building whatever you have available in your catalog and then displaying it in a collection. Now when it comes to ranking that collection for the keyword you thought you want to go after, so for example, let's say you have leather sofas in your sofas catalog, right? You want to go into this leathers, and then after you validate that there is enough searches for that, you want to make sure that you can rank for that keyword, right? Or else what are you doing? So you want to look into the DR and you want to look, okay, what is the DR for this keyword? What is the average one? You can see there is 79, 68, 32, and 42, right? So the first result is the shopping tab. You also want to get there. Of course, you want to add schema, or you want to import your stuff into Mission Center so you can show up there. A local map, local pack, forget about it, and then shopping, another shopping area as well, another shopping pack. But the gist is you want to make sure that you are reading the DR here, and if the average DR that's ranking there is really far away from your own DR, what you want to do is you want to figure out another variation of that same keyword so you can find a path in. You don't want to just look into the demand and what you have, but you also want to look at the competition and who's ranking there, so you give yourself a shot at ranking for this keyword. So for example here, leather sofa, it might be hard. Let's say you're at 20 DR, it might not be feasible for you to rank for this keyword, but you can also rank for leather couch. So if you type leather couch here, you might find a path into that SERPs, and you can see there's a 47 here, and that's actually a hard and even harder one. So you would look into another one, and how we do that is by just looking into the terms badge and seeing which one makes sense for that page to rank for. All right, cool. You see here, brown leather couch, black leather couch. These are sub collections you can create for your couch collection. All right, going back to the draw.io thing. Now the collections, we talked about it. We want to break them down as much as possible based on what's in the catalog, based on the demand, if there's any demand on the search, and based on the competition. That's a very key component so you don't mismanage your expectations. So once that's done, you want to move into actually structuring your navbar. So let me give you a quick idea on how to do that. All right, cool. So you can see here they have their navbar built around their categories because it's a huge site, a lot of products, their catalog is huge. So you can see there's makeup, skincare, hair, fragrances, and all of that other stuff, right? So you want to follow a similar navbar structure, but you also want to make sure that you're putting the most search collections in the navbar. That's one. The ones that they have trends, and the ones that have like multiple things that people are searching by. So for example, the colors, they might have a bunch of colors, but they might have one material. I'm just saying, for an example, you don't need to create a category just for material unless you have it in your catalog and you have a bunch of them and it makes sense for the user experience. Now the other thing I want to mention about the navbar here is that sometimes you will find that there is the anchor keyword and then multiple variations that come with it. So for example, the color, the size, and the anchor keyword. So quick example, face primer. So let's say lip gloss, right? Let's say we take lip gloss and then we go into lip gloss butter balm for hydration. Okay, so there's a bunch of attributes attached to the main keyword, which is lip gloss, right? You don't want to get anything that is that has multiple attributes into the navbar unless there is a search for it. Okay, anything else, like if you are just covering the keyword plus the product type, or the keyword plus the brand, or the keyword plus the category, or whatever it is, right? As long as there's one layer of variance, that's fine. It could go into the navbar. If there's multiple ones, which means, let's say a skincare, let's go into skincare because I'm more familiar with it. So let's say face cream, face and cream. This is the area and this is the product type, right? So face cream is fine to be there, but like as long as you're not doing face cream for acne and blemish, right? Face cream for anti-aging. So you have 3 different variants attached to the main keyword, which is the face cream, right? So that's pretty much it on how to go over the Navbar stuff. Now, of course, this is a bit harder to actually do, so you want to have the right tools in Ahrefs, and you really need to understand your own catalog to get up to speed with this. Once the collection pages are done and you have niched them all down, you're gonna get to a point where you can't add more collections because you've niched them all down. Now you're gonna move into the blogs, and we start by collections because again, these are gonna be the ones that are gonna generate the most revenue for your store. Now, by doing just that, some collections or some stores will be able to rank these collections by doing nothing on the blog side and nothing on the backlinks, just because one, they have a really wide inventory and it's really covering the entire niche, and that's what Google sometimes reward, is just having the availability of these products, because some might not have it. So just by creating the proper collections, you might get quick rankings. Now, some of the more competitive keywords for the collections, you will need to build blogs and a topical ecosystem, which means content pages around a certain collection, and that collection will carry a certain use case for it. So what you want to do is you want to create blogs that are use case specific to that collection, and from there, if the content do not help the collections rank already, you want to build backlinks to the blog, then that authority is going to get passed through the blog to the collection page. One more thing before I move into the blogs, because it's a much more longer topic, I want to make sure that you guys understand how to build the collection templates. Now, if you can see Sephora, what they do is, if you scroll down into their, oh, that's their website, that's their homepage, sorry. If you can scroll down to their best strategy on skincare, which is another backdoor page they built so they can rank for best strategy on skincare, right? You can see that they added an FAQ section and then a short description or some tips and tricks. Why? Because by adding this, you're giving yourself the option or the opportunity to insert these links here. And these links are pretty much what I'm showing here. So the main collection is linking to the sub collection, and then the sub collection is linking back to the main collection. And at the same time, the main collection is linking to the product. And in most cases, it's linking to the bestseller product or whatever they want to move stock through, or a product that has search and there's demand on the search for it, and they're trying to boost the ranking. So you can see you can see the dynamics between the collection pages and then the products. You build the links, or you connect the collections together by inserting links into the description or the FAQ section on the collection page. So you want to build a new template for your store, for your collection template. So you can give yourself opportunity to link from the collection to another collection, and from these collections to the product pages. Now, this is how it works, and why I followed this framework is because once you build the blogs, the authority or the backlinks that you build to the blogs gets diffused through the blogs to the collection, and then the collections diffuse the authority to the product pages. Okay, cool. So I hope you guys understand this, because it's very important. Now, this is how Sephora does it. Again, you can see here, they add a little bit of content. It's a short description. In my opinion, they should add an FAQ section and a short description at the same time, so they can have enough content to link from. Yeah. So a clear lip gloss, you can see it's taking them to the lip gloss collection. So that's collection to collection. And then of course they can see the matte bronzer. That's also another collection. Matte liner. That's a lot of dabs right there. Okay, let me see there. Sunscreen, they are taking them to the sunscreen collection. Early mid-20s. Skincare by age, as you can see. Another collection, another content description and FAQ. Okay, so I hope you guys understood this till now. Now, again, by doing this, you might already rank in number 1, number 2, number 3 spots without doing any other blogs or backlinks. Now, when blogs are used, again, you want to use them to be supporting a very specific collection, which is a use case specific collection. Now, remember how we talked about how you should be dropping down or niching down the collection? So let's take this real quick. Skincare, let's go by shop by concerns, and then acne and blemishes, or anti-aging. Okay, that anti-aging skincare, if you want to rank for the keyword anti-aging skincare, you need a few blogs that talk about anti-aging skincare. So you can create any of these types of blogs, because these blogs, you're not doing them just to do them. You want to make sure that you're driving people down the funnel from the blog to the collection. That's why it comes above it. So people that are typing on the search best anti-aging skincare, right? You want to make sure that there's a blog that's ranking for that keyword, that's pushing people from that blog into the collection that is anti-aging skincare, which is here. Now, this is not their end destination, but this is just where you should push them to. Now, in the blog as well, you want to link back to the products and kind of like position your products as the best solution for their skincare routine, for their anti-aging concerns. What I mean by this is, let's take this here. This is a blog. It's a grooming manual. Should you shave before or after a shower? And you can see here, if you go through the blog, they are linking to their collection of best shaving products for men, and then if you can open it up, that's the collection page. And then you also have a little bit of little description here. So what you're understanding here is the blogs will act as a supporting pages to the collections, but at the same time, if they rank properly and if you manage to rank them for the proper keywords using the same exact methodology that I showed you on the collection page, you'll be able to rank this and then push people into your main collections, and then that's where they're gonna be adding to cart and then checking out. Now, on the blogs, I like to do best of, top 10, gifting guides, and then how-tos, because these intrinsically carry some transactional value. They are not like how to tie your shoe, right? They are more like, okay, people are still early in their buying journey and they are looking into information to make an informed buying decision. And that's where I want to provide them the value and then position my product as the best solution for their needs through these blogs. So that's why I focus on these blogs specifically. Now, these blogs, again, they need to be use case specific to the collection page that you want to rank. Now, best skincare routine for anti-aging, top 10 products to fight anti-aging, gifting guide, best skincare routine to gift your wife or something like that, how to put together a routine for anti-aging or how to fight anti-aging. As simple as that. So as long as the blogs are use case specific to the collection that you built, you're gonna be all right. Now, once you cover the topic properly and you are building these types of blogs, what's gonna happen is the next step is you're gonna analyze the performance of that blog and the performance of that collection, and that usually do that with Google Analytics or Google Search Console, and see if you are hitting the keyword targets you want. Now, if you get to the point where, okay, you have one of these collections, the main collection is ranking number 5, number 6, number 7 on the page, and it's not being able to take over the top positions for that keyword, you want to build also use case specific backlinks. Now, you can't really put your thumb on what backlink is gonna work, so you want to make sure that there's a variety of backlinks that's linking back to your blog or even to your collection, but it's more natural to link to the blog because it's providing more value than just the collection. And what we're gonna do when you're building backlinks is you want to make sure that there's a bunch of anchor text that are exact match, which means the link that links to your blog or to your collection needs to be an exact match to the keyword that you want to rank for. Then you also want another branded one where it's mentioning your brand plus a generic term around the use case that you're supporting. And another thing is maybe a partner site, like for example somebody that you're retailing from or you're reselling their products. You can push them also to link back to the blog or to the collection you want to push. Now, I prefer to link only to blogs and then let the blogs support the collections, because the blog is pretty much passing over the authority from other sites that you're outsourcing into the collection and then into the product. That's my preference. That's what I see working the best. And again, when you're pushing backlinks into a blog, the blog will, as you can see, is linking multiple collections, so multiple collections are benefiting from that as well, and it gives a lot of to that backlink and to that juice that's being passed on. So up until now, you understood what you need to do with your collections based on your catalog and how big your catalog is. You can break down the collections based on the attributes and the filters that you saw on Amazon for your own industry or whatever you're in, right? And then once you do that, you're gonna get some rankings. You want to boost these rankings by creating blog use case specific blogs, and then from these blogs you want to internal link them between each other, and you also link to the collections. And then if you see yourself that, okay, I've got into the first or second page and I'm not able to break there because there's a bunch of competition there, you want to start building backlinks to them and just keep track of them, and then at some point they're going to be ranking number 1. Now, how this all comes together in a roadmap style. So for example, this is the site I showed you earlier. This is their roadmap here. The roadmap basically lists all the pages that you need to create, from collections to blogs, and then from there you can have a full overview on what's happening on your site and then optimize based on that. Of course, I am trying to take the current traffic or their current performance, try to see if they need realignment, and then from there extract the SERPs, the data, the keyword for each page I want to optimize or rank for, and then see where are the gaps or where I can actually end up ranking based on the SERP signals. And that's the culmination or the combination of volume, KD, the minimum DR or the average DR that I showed you on the SERPs on Ahrefs, and then the traffic minimum or the traffic potential. And then of course we add the weights to that, and then we get the priority score. Okay, cool. I think this is a lot of information for you guys to process, but it's really easy. As long as you are able to do each one step by step in the right order, you will get the rankings you want. Now, to wrap this video up and to kind of give you guys a better understanding on each step by step and how things happen, you can go to my YouTube channel real quick and then watch my last videos, and then that's where I'm actually breaking down more of that stuff. So what makes SEO works? What are the conditions outside of this that makes the system works? E-commerce framework, you should know how to actually build this and pretty much have enough information or knowledge to execute on this. This is another case study where I walk you through the exact same thing that I showed you, doing the collections, building the blogs, building backlinks, and then of course I'm also auditing this here so you know the mistakes or the issues that you might run through and how to solve them. So that's gonna be it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Drop me a follow and subscribe to my channel, and then if you have any questions, just DM me or just drop a comment there. And yeah, see you soon. Peace.